everyone. Today is Friday, November 22nd, 2024, and this is Flosstube number 7. If you're new here, my name is Maggie and I live in Northwest Arkansas, and this is a channel about cross stitch and other crafts. So today I have a lot to share with you, a lot of updates. I have been decorating for Christmas, so I've got our main 12-foot tree in the living room decorated. All of the living room is fully decorated now. And then I started in the entry. I did a little bit in our dining room. I got the tree up in our bedroom, but not decorated. I still have to do that. And then there's a tree in our dining room, or our smaller dining room, that I will be decorating that's this size. So a little bit left to do. I plan to finish that on Sunday. So going into December 1st, all of the decorating will be done. And then I can enjoy the season stitching and baking and doing other things. I will just jump right in. I have a lot to show you today. I will include at the end of this video a tutorial on how I do my ribbons and bows in my trees. A lot of people have asked me how I do that, and so I'll share some footage at the end, just walking you through that process. So if you're not interested, you can just skip that part, but that will be at the tail end of this video for anybody who's interested. So what has been going on here aside from decorating? I am working on my December daily album. So in previous videos, I've mentioned I like to do an October daily book album and a December daily album. Those are month-long projects in October and December. I finished October's October 31st. That's right here. These are all of my October daily books, and then these are the December daily books here, or albums. And this is 2024's album. So it's a really pretty album with colorful trees, different shades of green, bracket on the end to put the year. And I just like to, I think last video I showed you some of my prep pages that I was doing just to kind of get ready for the season. But I thought I would show you, I've been kind of working ahead because on my Instagram, which is home.on.the.ridge, home on the ridge, I share daily in the month of December, October and December, my daily stories for my albums. And so I've already put together story number 3 because it is stitching related. I thought I would show it to you today. So this story is talking about the hashtag that I started I announced it in my last video. It is hashtag Holly Jolly Startmas. And basically that means if you have any starts that you want to do in the holiday season, if you want to use that tag over on Instagram or even YouTube, and you tag me, then I can share that with others on Instagram, and also follow along in your progress too. Holiday stitching is so much fun. It's one of my favorites next to Halloween, and I'm just having a blast. I actually got started. I did not wait until December 1st. And so I have a lot to share with you today on the things that I've already gotten stitched and finished. I have 2 finishes already, and a third one that I've gotten started on that I'm really excited about. And so I'll just share with you day 3. So this is the finish that I'm about to show you. And these are the 12 projects that I have chosen. So I just have these are 2x2 square pockets here in this page protector. And right now they are just images of the pattern, of the model on the pattern itself. But I think once I finish them, let's see if I can get it without the glare here. When I finish them, I will put pictures in of my actual stitching. So the album will have pictures of my actual finishes instead of just the pictures of the models. But yeah, so I really like how that spread turned out just to kind of preserve that memory of starting a hashtag and taking on such a huge challenge this is the biggest challenge that I have ever taken on, stitching related. And so just to give you a little idea of what that challenge is if you missed my last video. So it's 12 starts in this holiday season. So not finishes, just starts. So I And the reason that I started that was because I realized I didn't have any Christmas related things, cross-stitch pieces to display, fully finishes to display. And I really would like to fill out the top of our TV cabinet with all kinds of different various sizes of Santa themed cross-stitch patterns, fully finished objects. So that's what this year I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna get them started. You can't get anything finished if you don't get it started. So I chose 12 of the favorites. Most of them were in my stash that I've had for years, and I've loved them, and I just haven't gotten around to stitching them. So I was so excited to kit them all up and start working on them. I've just had such a fun time. It's been so much fun. So before I get into the stitching, I would like to share with you all just a couple of things. So I mentioned earlier that I decorated for Christmas. I will be filming a full house tour on that, just as like a Flosstube extra, and I'll probably include that or upload that mid-December. But I thought that I would go ahead and share, since I'm sharing the tutorial on the ribbons and bows, I thought I would just give you like a little sneak peek of our main 12-foot tree, so that it will kind of give you an idea of what to, my technique of, give you a sneak peek of the technique that I'm about to share with you at the end of this video. So I'll pause here and share that footage with you. So that was our decorations in our living room. I love how everything turned out. The ribbon on our main tree is new this year. Normally I will purchase some designer, more expensive ribbon for that main tree in there, but then I'll hang on to it. So whenever I undress the tree, I will roll up the ribbon and keep it year after year. And the last ribbon that I had on the tree, I think I had for 3 or 4 years. It lasted 3 or 4 years before it really started to show its age. But this year I got the new ribbon that you just saw, and I just love it. It's so pretty. So I love to decorate with red and white, and hopefully I will be able to add some of these Santa themed cross stitch finishes this month. Because I have finished some. Maybe I'll have some fully finishes to show you next time. So I wanted to share that with you. I shared my December daily with you. I wasn't going to, but I did go ahead and sign up for the Jingle Ball. If you are not sure what that is, it's like a online stitchy event where everybody comes together, stitchers come together, and they have classes and just entertainment, and you can bring your stitching and just have a fun time. And I'm really excited. Everybody who has been before, that I've heard them talk about it on other Flosstubes, just have had a ball, no pun intended. And so this year I thought I'm gonna go ahead and sign up. And so I did. I signed up to attend, and then I also signed up to take 2 classes that I'm really excited about. So I'm taking the Winter Woodland Star Pillow class with Liz Matthews, and then I'm also going to participate in the Up on the Rooftop Stockings with Lindy Stitches. So because of that change, because I didn't know that I was going to do the Jingle Ball the last time I filmed, I thought I was going to sit this one out because of the projects that all the projects that I have already like committed to for myself for this holiday season. But I decided to go ahead and just do it. Why not, right? I wanted to share this with you. This was the page that I just showed you out of my December daily album. These are the 11 projects. There's 12 squares here, but I'm counting the Lindy Stitches class and the Liz Matthews class as one because that's part of the Jingle Ball. So I introduced those into my hashtag of the 12 Santa themed starts that I wanted to do this year or this holiday season. The 12th one is the Lizzie Kate one that I finished that I'll show you here in just a second. But so I rearranged some things. I did to pull one off. So I had kitted up this To All a Good Night by Hello from Liz Matthews. It's fully kitted with the fabric and everything, but I'm gonna set this one aside. I will stitch this, I just won't stitch it this season. So I pulled that one off my list so that I could incorporate these two for the classes. So that's just a quick look of the ones that I'm gonna stitch, and I'll show you a deeper look here in just a second. So I did make a few changes. I also wanted to share with you my advent calendars that I'm going to be opening on December 1st and every day for the month of December. So I have never had a stitchy related one before, and this year I decided to go with the Robin Christmas Patchwork Advent Box by the Historical Sampler Company. And this one came, and I haven't opened anything yet. I think there's some like things that you're supposed to open here before December, but each day you have an envelope, and each of them are numbered, so you have a little stitchy present there for the month of December. And so I don't know what I'm gonna get myself into, probably more stitching, another project, but that will be separate from the hashtag, so that'll just be Advent fun. But I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, I've never had an Advent before that was stitchy related. And then I also have this one by Allie Edwards. This is a memory keeping related Advent calendar, and it is primarily, I think it's primarily stickers that you can use in your albums. And this will be the third year that I have gotten this one, and I absolutely love these. They're such good quality products in here that you can put in your album, and of course they're all numbered. And it's just such a nice little surprise, and then you can incorporate those things into the December daily album as you go throughout the month. So that's a fun one too that I wanted to share with you. So I'm looking forward to that. We do have all the guys here at the house, my two youngest and my husband, they all have their own Advent calendars, and we have a lot of fun in the month of December opening little things every day. It's such a little treat. But I'll set these aside. And then, let's see, the next thing that I will share is, I think I shared everything that wasn't stitching related, or that was not my actual stitching. Let me make sure here so I don't miss anything. Okay, yeah, I think I'm ready to go into the stitching. Okay, so I was going to wait. I told you guys last time that I thought I might wait until December 1st to start the hashtag Holly Jolly Startmas. Like I said, if you want to join along, I would love for you to tag me on Instagram, Home on the Ridge, or here on YouTube, so that I can shout you out or share you over on Instagram, share your progress, and then also enjoy seeing your progress throughout the month. So the first thing that I started with for this hashtag was this Is It Too Late by Lizzie Kate. This is a small pattern. It's 39 by 81. I started it and finished it in about 2 days. So here is my finish. And I stitched this on the 32 count Lugana. The color is Graham Cracker. And I subbed out all the colors. These are just similar ones that I had in my stash. So just to tell you what those were really quickly. So the red is DMC 347. The white I used was Classic Colorworks Bamboo. The light green in the sock and the stocking was Classic Colorworks Little Sprout. The dark green is the words, and that is DMC 935 that I used. The gold in the clock is DMC 3852. The brown in the clock is the Classic Colorworks Roasted Chestnut. These are all colors that I picked out from my stash. And then the only called for that I used was the hands on the clock, which was the 310 black. But it turned out so cute, and I just love it. Lizzie Kate is just such a cute, she has such cute things, especially at Christmas. And I already have an idea of how I'm going to finish that. So I went to Hobby Lobby just looking for some finishing pieces, and I found this this piece. It's just like a box, a wide box, so it just sits on one edge, and it was, let's see, does it have a number? Yeah, the item number is right there, if you can see that. But it was a little over $4, $4.50. And I'm either, it says you can do it, coffee. And I will either frame it like this by itself. It's an absolute perfect fit. I don't know if you can tell, but it is the perfect size for this little finish, for a finishing piece for this pattern. I will probably mount it on mat board and just inset it inside there. And then either add something on the top, like some greenery or something, or I had an idea to turn this into a clock. So use this as the base of the clock where this will be mounted into it. And then somehow put some, like, you know, if you think about those old grandfather clocks where it has like the decorative feet, and then this would come up, like just make like a wooden topper here with some decorative trim on the top. I'm thinking maybe I could find some more like dollhouse things that I could use to trim it out, and then just make like a face of the clock out of something, and like maybe just paint the hands on the clock, like not a working clock. It's just purely decorative. But if you can see, this one is like almost midnight, and I was thinking about just maybe mirroring that for the clock face. So I don't know. I really want to turn this into a clock, but I don't know if I can do it or not. We'll see. So it'll either just be a basic finish like this, and then if I do just frame it like this and leave it like this by itself, I will like maybe put something on the top. But I really would like to turn this into some kind of like just a sitting like a little miniature grandfather clock, and frame it like that. So I'll keep you posted on what I decide to do. Maybe this will be a fully finished by the next time you see me. The second thing that I worked on, that was the first pattern for the hashtag Holly Jolly Startmas. The second one that I worked on was this photo booth it's called North Pole Party Pics by Bent Creek. And I started this one on this fabric here. Oops, I'm losing everything. And realized, so I stitched the frame, and I started to stitch the reindeer. And then when I started to add the white of the belly of the reindeer and then the white on Santa, I realized this fabric was too light and you couldn't really see the white. So then I told my husband in passing, he was sitting in here at this computer right here, and I came in here. I keep all of my fabric in this bottom drawer of this tower here. And I came in and I was like, I'm gonna have to restart this because you can't see the white. And he's like, oh, what if you just like fill it all in with a different color? And I was like, well, I guess I could try to do that. So I attempted to do that. And I started to just fill everything in, like the background in with blue, with just a light blue. And it looks fine. I totally could have like just continued on. But man, that was a lot of stitching. And I have all these other projects that I want to start. And this one is relatively small as well. And I had anticipated finishing this one also this month or this season. And so I just thought that it was going to take too much time to fill all that in. So I got this far and I decided to restitch it on a different fabric. So I will show you what that looks like. So I had like I don't even know, like a half yard maybe of that graham cracker fabric, the Lugana graham cracker, which is what I finished that Lizzie Kate on. And so I had some more of that. I have a lot of it actually. You'll see more of my projects for this hashtag are going to be on this fabric as well, just because I have it in my stash. But so I restitched it on this graham cracker 32 count Lugana, I believe so. So I finished the frame again, and I fully finished the top block. See, I just think it looks so much better without filling in the background. And then I started the second block. So I got all of this done in one night. That was a lot of stitching in that Santa. And then I put this one down to start another one. But I want to come back to this because I feel like I can finish this season. It's really cute. So yeah, there's the progress on that one. And then the third one that I started and finished is this Santa's Coffee Break by Madame Chantilly. And remember, if you saw my last video, I had said that I was just going to stitch this section in here. I wasn't going to stitch this whole thing because it's pretty big. This is, the full pattern is 181 by 242 stitches, and mine is approximately 80 by 100. So it's a lot smaller. And I finished it, and I just love it. It's so cute. Let me see. Turn this. I should have got my board. It's not anywhere near me, or I would grab it. So I'll use the back of this paper here, or this pattern. Isn't it so cute? I love this so much. So this is stitched on 16 count, Picture This Plus, Ada, in the color Icon. And I chose this fabric. This is a different fabric than when I walked you guys through all of the patterns that I had picked last time. This was a lighter blue fabric, and I wanted it to kind of mirror the sky, like clouds in the sky. And whenever I had the problems with the photo booth one, with the fabric being too light with the white, I didn't want to make that mistake again. So I switched out the fabric before I even got started. So it was the right call, because this is perfect. I love it so much. That little tablecloth and the little cups, the little mugs, and the donuts. I mean, come on. How stinking cute is this? I love this so much. It's so cute. So the only other change that I made, I made two changes. So everything is called for. All the floss is called for, except for the blue that's in this thermos, and I guess that's a little plate, and the donut box. The blue that's called for is DMC 3753. antique blue, and it literally was like a replica of this color of my fabric. You wouldn't have been able to see it. So I went through my stash and I found Classic Colorworks Blue Moon, and it's perfect. It's just a shade darker, just enough to be able to see it. It's perfect. I love it. The only other change that I made was the nose. It's hard to see. It's really hard to see on this picture, but the original nose in the pattern, let's see if I get really close here, of the deer is the same color as the tree. So it's a dark brown, and it's 6 stitches across. So it's a wide nose and it's dark brown. And I wanted to make this be Rudolph sitting with Santa in a tree. So what I did was I stitched everything around his snout in the brown color of his body. And then I just did 1 X in red to make him Rudolph. So that was the only change that I made to the pattern, aside from not stitching the whole thing also. You guys, this is one of those where the pattern itself, the model, it's just, you can't see the detail. You cannot appreciate the details until you actually stitch it. And it just comes to life. It is miniatures. Do you guys like miniature things? I just love miniature things. And just those little dishes and the tablecloth and the donuts. I mean, come on. I love this so much. I had a blast stitching this. And I'm usually not a process stitcher. Like I want the end result, and I don't really, I'm not going to say I don't enjoy stitching. That's not true. But you know what I mean? Like I'm not just doing it. I'm not just stitching to stitch because I like to stitch. I'm doing it for the end result. But I really enjoyed the process of stitching this one. And I already know how I'm going to finish it. So in the same trip to Hobby Lobby, I found this pedestal. It was $15.99 on, they had a 50% off sale. And I love this just chunky pedestal. It's kind of distressed, real rough feeling. It just says Home Sweet Home. Obviously, I'm going to cover that up. Here is the item number for anybody who's interested. But it is going to be a perfect fit for this piece. Let's see if I can fold this and show you. Let's see, almost there. You get the idea. Isn't that gonna be so cute? Oh my gosh, I really wanted to try to have this fully finished to show y'all today, but I just didn't have time. But I love the color of the base is the same color as the tree. This is gonna be such a cute finish. I may put something on the top. I don't know, in the dollhouse section at Hobby Lobby, I was thinking maybe if I could find like a little saucer with a little teacup or something up there, or, you know, something to do with like taking a break, you know, like having a little refreshments up there or something. I don't know. I don't know. I may just put some greenery on, or I could leave it plain too, and just put some cording or something around it to cover up the seam. But that's going to be so cute, and I'm so excited. I'm so happy that I decided to do this, because the past 2 Christmases I have just really wanted to have some finished pieces, and I just didn't, I don't know, for whatever reason, I just did other things. I didn't decide to kit up a lot of things so that I could have a lot of finishes. I didn't even think to do that, and I'm so happy that I did this year. So the only other thing, I think, so that's all the progress that I have made so far. I mean, it's a lot of progress, but I still have, what, 9 more starts between now and December 31st. I don't know, going back to this chart, so this doesn't include the Lizzie Kate one. So this is the one that I showed you from Bent Creek that I'm in the second square here. I'm going to probably try to finish this one. The next thing that I'm going to move to, I finished this one. The next thing I'm going to move to is probably these for the Jingle Ball, because the Jingle Ball is Friday, December 6th through Monday, December 9th. I know that for Liz Matthews' class, she said that they're not going to do a lot of this. I don't know if you can tell, but there's beading around that star pillow. They're not gonna, she's not gonna, I guess, pace the class in such a way as so that people can follow along and finish along with her. So I may go ahead and stitch this up, but I don't think that I will finish it that weekend. But I do want to try to finish these. I'm going to stitch, these are the ones from the Lindy Stitches class. I'm going to stitch the reindeer one and the Santa one to go along with this hashtag for my Santa finishes. And I'm going to try to finish those the weekend of the ball. So follow along with the Lindy Stitches class and try to get those finished that weekend. So maybe I'll have another, that finish, and then maybe this one the next time I show you, or the next time I come on here. I also had, I added another one to this. It's right here. This was not on the original list here. It's also a Madame Chantilly pattern. It's called, I think it's just called Santa's Reindeer. Let me just show you the actual pattern, because that'll be easier to see than that just 2x2 square. So I had, my dog is down there making noises. So this is a PDF, and is it called Santa's Reindeer? Yeah, it is Santa's Reindeers, and it's by Madame Chantilly, and you can get this on her Etsy shop. What is her Etsy shop? If you search for her name in Etsy, you can find it. I want to say it's like XO or something. I don't know. But anyway, I have a fun idea to finish these. I'm not going to stitch it like this. I'm going to stitch each individual reindeer by itself, just the reindeer. So Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, and Rudolph. And when I was at Hobby Lobby, I found a finishing piece for it. Yeah, I'm so excited. Okay, you want to see it? I'll go get it. Hang on just one second. I wasn't going to show you guys, and then I'm just too excited. I'm too excited, so I have to show you. So I don't know yet what fabric I'm going to stitch these on. Probably that same graham cracker fabric, because I have a lot of it, like I said. But I found these pieces in 2 different sizes. So whichever one I don't go with, I will save for a Halloween finish. And I'll tell you more about that in just a second. This is so fun. So I found this in their like beach area. I don't know, where they have a bunch of beach things. And when I saw this grid, I instantly knew that this would be a perfect finish for the reindeer, and to stitch each reindeer and mount them inside this box. So I'll take these shells out, obviously, and mount them in the box. Now, if this is too small, I found a bigger one, and I got it too. So this is like more in their farmhouse section. You can see they're one is really large. And let me show you the backs so you have the item numbers. You see that? That's the item number for this one. And then this is this one. So whichever one works out. Sorry, these are like clanking around, making a lot of noise. Which one works out for the reindeer, I'll save the other one for Halloween. And you know what I was thinking? The sampler, the Halloween sampler by Teresa Kogut, stitching some of those witches or cats individually and sticking them in these too. I'm so excited about this finish. This is so awesome. But anyway, so stay tuned. Got to stitch them first. And then hopefully I will finish. I will probably more than likely finish these in the month of December because I'm this pattern, because I'm just so excited about this finish. Like sometimes you just find the finishing pieces and before you even know what you're going to put in them, you know, and then it just comes to you when because you know, you can go through your stash at home or whatever, and it just comes to you. It just hits you. And that's what happened with these. So it's fate. It's just meant to be. So anyway, I'm really, really excited about that. Is there anything else? This is the bag. I think I showed you guys this last time. This is the bag that I'm keeping the 12 starts in for the month. And I have everything that I need in here. Hoops and different things, all the patterns, obviously, scissors and everything that I need. And I just carry this around the house. You know, wherever I'm stitching. Sometimes I stitch in my bedroom. Sometimes I stitch in the living room. It just depends. But yeah. So I think that's everything. I'm going to let you go because I don't want this to be too terribly long. And I will remember to add the footage at the end of this for the ribbon tutorial. And I will see you next time. If you guys have any questions or anything, always leave me a comment, even if you don't, just to say hi. I love to talk to you guys in the comments. I try to answer everybody back. And just, if you liked anything today, I'd love to know your thoughts. And let me know what you're stitching. Are you joining me for this hashtag? I would love for you to. So let me know what you're stitching, and I'll see you next time. So I thought I would film a little tutorial, if you will, on how I put the ribbons and bows in my Christmas trees. A lot of you have asked if I would share that process with you. So this little tree actually goes in our smaller dining room. So I just moved it in here to show you guys my technique. I'm here in my office craft room on the other side of where I typically film floss tubes. And when I'm finished here, I'll just strip it down and move it back in there and decorate it. It'll be ready to decorate this weekend. So this tree is 7 foot. It's the same tree that is in my background of my videos over here. And it is the Ashland brand from Michaels. And you can go online and it's typically on sale. And that's how I got these trees. So I got three of these trees. 2 of them used to go in my boys' bedrooms when they were little, but this year they've decided that they're a little too old for Christmas trees in their bedrooms. So that's okay, because now I get to move these around in other new parts of the house and decorate with different themes and various things that I have laying around in my stash. So this tree will, this year, like I said, in my dining room, will house my Santa, my Toy Maker Santa collection. And it is a Hallmark series of ornaments. And I have them here in this tub. I have all of them that have ever been made. They come out with a new one every year. And sometimes 2, one in July and one in October with their ornament premiere. And so I always pick up the newest one and to add to my collection, but I thought I would share just a few of these with you. Each year they come out with one with him making a different toy. So this one is obviously a rocking horse. And I just absolutely love, you guys know I'm a fan of Santa, so I just love it so much. Here's another one. Like I said, every ornament is different, and every year he comes out on a different toy or with making a different toy. It's called the Toy Maker Santa series. This is an older one. 2000, yeah, this is from 2000. Some ribbon here that I'm gonna just pull up and show you from my stash, and just kind of tell you like what I'm thinking about when I'm picking ribbon out, and how I pair it together and things. So you want to make sure that you always get a wired ribbon, and so this is just some black ribbon. I get A lot of my ribbon, you can find it at Hobby Lobby or other craft stores, or you can find, I found some really great ribbon on Amazon, Michael's, like Hobby Lobby, like I said, and then also like local boutiques and things will have some of the like more designer ribbon. I do a mix of both. So the 12-foot tree in our living room this year has the red and white candy striped ribbon, and then it's velvet red ribbon, and it's designer ribbon, and it was pretty expensive. However, whenever I go to put that tree, to pack everything away when the season's over, I will take all of that ribbon off and roll it up and keep it and put it on that tree year after year. I usually, if I really like the ribbon, like I really like that ribbon and I invested in that ribbon, it was expensive, I'll keep it around for 4 or 5 years. So this is the ribbon that I had on that tree prior in my living room. And this is just an example of how I roll it up. This is 3 different strips of ribbon. So I usually try to, that's a big tree. So I opted to use 3 different ribbons. But typically, let me show you these. Typically, I will just do 2 ribbons in a tree, especially trees this size. So this is another example. I always start with, I have a ribbon that has a pattern on it, and then a solid ribbon, or, you know, mostly solid. And I will try to coordinate them. So in this case, you have the houses with the, you know, the black outlining of the houses, and then also this black ribbon here. And so this is 2.5 inch, and this is 1.5 inch. So I always pair a wide ribbon with a skinny ribbon. And one is solid and one is pattern. Now this could be solid and this could be patterned. That doesn't really matter. You just want them to coordinate and be different sizes. So back to the living room ribbon. So because that tree is so large, I opted to use 3 ribbons that year. So I just did all 3 sizes. So this is a 4 inch, I believe, ribbon. And this is more of a designer ribbon. It has glitter, really, really pretty. You don't have to spend a lot of money to put ribbon in your tree. This tree here in my office craft room, that ribbon came from Hobby Lobby, and it was like $2. This ribbon came from a boutique, and it was a little bit more expensive. It depends on how many yards you buy or how many yards are on the roll. That will determine the price. But you could spend, you know, $20, $30, $40, $50, $60 on a spool of ribbon, depending on, you know, how designer it is, how, you know, what is made up on the ribbon. So this one like has a lot of not really sure what you call this, but you know what I mean? Like it has things on it, and it's very, it's like a mesh, and it has like a lot of texture. That's the word I'm looking for, texture. So it's going to be more expensive than say this ribbon. And I believe this ribbon came from, I want to say I found this one on Amazon. So this was a cheaper ribbon. So you can pair them. You can either go all cheap, and it's pretty, just like this tree in here is all cheap ribbon and it's beautiful. Or you can mix and match. So I have like a designer ribbon here with ribbons here and here that I found on Amazon. Or like these are cheap ribbons, and they both came from Walmart. So as long as your ribbon is wired, it will work. Obviously, I mean, I prefer the designer ribbon, but I don't always spend the money on ribbon. I don't, like I said, on these other little trees, I don't typically invest in that because I do like to change it out. So like this tree here in my office, I will change this ribbon out every year, because when you use the cheap ribbon, it doesn't really last. You can't really roll it up and keep it year to year. You could try, but you'll see that it doesn't hold its shape. And when I put it in the tree and scrunch it in and, you know, use wires to really get it in there, when you pull that off, it doesn't really relax and go back to its flat original state if it's cheap ribbon. So hopefully that makes sense on what I'm looking for and how I pair my ribbons. Again, you can use cheap ribbon. It's just as pretty, but just know that it may not last as long as, like, say, a designer ribbon or a more expensive ribbon. So I think that's all. Oh, this is the ribbon. I was going to show you this too. This is the ribbon that I got for our bedroom tree. So in that tree, that color scheme in our bedroom is navy, silver, and white, maybe cream. But this is a 4-inch ribbon and a 2.5-inch ribbon that I found on Amazon for relatively cheap. And I don't know if this is going to be, this one probably, just by looking at it, it probably won't last season to season, but this one may. It just depends on the quality of the ribbon, like I said. But anyway, so I thought I would start with, I thought I would decorate this ribbon and show you this ribbon with these two ribbons, just with the two, and that way you can kind of get an idea of how I do it. I think there might be a pin in this. Let me make sure before I stab myself. Just a second. Okay, maybe not. Hopefully I didn't just drop it. Anyway, I always start with a thicker ribbon. So, and I always start with the topper. So I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'll just go ahead and put the topper like right in here. Normally I would go to the very top and I would put in a few picks at the top, and maybe I can scoot you up. Yeah, that helps. Okay, so I usually will put in picks so first. So you can find these at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, any craft store, and I usually get 3. So I can put one here, and I'll just put that down in the top on this side, and then I'll come over here and put one in on this side, and then I'll put one in the middle. And so it just kind of fans out around the top of the tree. Okay, and then I'll come back in and make a bow tree topper out of the ribbon. So what I like to do, let me grab my scissors. So ribbon will come just with the flat edge. This is, I've used this before, so it doesn't have a flat edge, but I'll show you. So it'll come with just a flat edge like this. Again, this is wired ribbon. You want to always make sure you use wired ribbon. And I will cut it on an angle. Now you can fishtail it or cut it on an angle or just leave it straight. It's just totally your preference. But this is my preference to just cut it on an angle. Sorry, this is like used ribbon, so it's not like pristine to show you. But you can see, I just cut it on an angle. So the first thing I do is I undo the ribbon, cut it on an angle, and I just let it fall to the floor, okay? Then I will take my hands, put one at the end, and come up about 12 to 15 inches or so to create a tail. Then I shift my hands to the base of that tail, and I kind of scrunch it on one end. Okay, so you're gonna leave a long tail, and then you're gonna take this hand and make a loop and just bring it right to that other hand and grab it. And while you're grabbing it, you just kind of scrunch it together like that, and you just hold it with your fingers. Okay, now if you're using ribbon that is one-sided, you are going to want to, at the base of your fingers where you're holding that ribbon, you want to take your fingers and clamp onto the bottom right below your fingers where you're holding the other ribbon, the loop, and twist. And what that does is moves the front of that ribbon to the front of what will be the front of your bow. So you twist it, and then you're going to come down about the same length. This is probably, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches. This will determine your loop size. So if you have a large tree, your loops are going to be a little bit bigger than, say, you know, a smaller tree. So then you're going to, once you've twisted it, you're going to come down about 6 to 8 inches, bring the bottom of that back up, and marry it with your other finger there, and clamp it in with your other finger. So now you've got 2 bows. And if this is kind of a bad example because this ribbon you don't really have to turn it because it's the same on both sides. But if it wasn't, that's why you would do that, because you want to keep the front of your bow, the fronts on the outside at all times. So then you're just going to repeat that process one more time. So I like to create 3 bows with a first color for the topper. So now I'm going to take at the top of where I'm pinching and twist. Again, you only really have to do this if you have one-sided bows. You're going to twist, come out 6 to 8 inches or so, make another loop, and marry it with that one. So now you've got 3 loops in one hand, held together, scrunched together, and pinched together like that. Now, the next thing you want to do is you can either use wire or like floral wire, or you can use the tree. These are really good trees to use to use the branches as your wire. I don't have my wire around me. I forgot to grab that. So I'm just going to use the tree for this demonstration. So now that you've got your 3 loops, what I do is I go just directly into the tree with the loops, tails down, okay? And I'll just come right up in here like this and find I'm going into the tree with my hand that's clamping those to hold them as bows. I'm grabbing a branch and I'm going to wrap that around the center point where I was squeezing it. Okay, and just put it in the tree like that. Now this kind of looks messy, and that's the thing with wired ribbon, it doesn't matter because once you just have to get it in the tree, and once it's in the tree, you can zhuzh it up and pretty it up however you want because it's wired and it'll stay however you put it. So at this point, I'm going to fix this section here, and what I'm doing to fix it is, what I'm looking for to adjust and correct is you can see how it's kind of folded, the loops are folded. So I'm going to just open those up, fan them out, all 3 of them, like this. I'm going to take the tail, because I want one tail on one side and probably one on another. Actually, we can even cut these a little shorter. You can leave them like this. That's pretty too. Or you can cut them shorter. Just for this demonstration, I'm going to cut them. And sometimes I do keep the tails of the toppers shorter, because then this is why I did that. So now this tail can kind of go up and just kind of hang out at the top, and then this one can come down, and then you've got 1 loop on this side and 2 loops on this side. Okay, like that. Okay. So you can leave it like this. This is pretty too, just with 1 bow. This ribbon is used, so it's kind of wrinkly, but that's okay. You get the idea. So you could totally just leave it like this and then start to fill down with the same ribbon. Or what I like to do is layer the ribbons. So then I will come in with my second ribbon, the smaller ribbon, and I'm going to do the same thing, the same technique. So the technique that I like to use is a tail. So we started with a tail, 3 loops, and another tail. And so that's what you have here at the top of the tree. So then I'm going to come back with this thinner ribbon. Again, it's wired too. You want to always make sure you're using wired ribbon. And I'm going to just take the end, pretend this is a brand new roll. Take the end, and the first thing I'm going to do is cut it on an angle, like that. Again, if you wanted to fishtail it, you could. And to do that easily, you would just fold it and cut it like that, so that when you open it up, it's a fishtail. A lot of people like the fishtails. I've seen a lot of designers and things use fishtailing too, and it is pretty. Like I said, I just prefer the slant. So I'm going to take this ribbon and drop the rest to the floor, because it just gets it out of my way and I don't have to deal with it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, we're going to repeat the exact same thing that I did for this ribbon. We're going to create a tail. This is totally your preference on how long you want this tail to be. For the topper, like I said, I usually keep it that looks about like 12 inches. Bring my other hand up and hold hold that end point of where the bow is going to be created, grab this other side of the ribbon and marry it with my other hand and pinch. So now I've got a little tail and a loop. I'm going to do the same thing. Now, if this is, again, this is a bad example because it's not, it's double-sided. But if it was a single-sided bow, this is the point where you'd want to twist to get that good side on the outside and then come up, right? But because this doesn't matter, you can just, you don't have to twist. You can just come and get your other one and bring it, get some more ribbon and bring it up to create your second loop. I try to keep the loops the same size. Again, you can, sometimes I twist just out of habit because most of the ribbon I use is not double-sided. And then you've got your 3 loops with your tails. Okay. Again, it doesn't matter what it looks like now until you get it in the tree, and the wire is your best friend. It will help you so much to be able to fix it and make it look pretty once it's in your tree. So now what I like to do is come in, and this is easier with wire. So let me pause right here. I'm going to get some wire. This is what I'm glad that I went and got it because I wanted to show you what I use anyway. So I just have this little container from Hobby Lobby, and I keep all my wire in it. Whenever I take down the trees, I always keep any wire that I put in the tree year after year. And that way I just have like a bin that I can go to when I need it. Because I use this for all seasons, not just for Christmas. But this is typically the wire that I use. And I get this at Hobby Lobby. But this is good because you can just take as much wire as you need and just cut it as you need. I just dropped it in the floor. Excuse me. Okay, so I have a piece of wire, and this one, I like to cut this one a little bit for the topper, the second layer of the topper. I like to cut it a little bit long, and you'll see why in a second. So what you're gonna do with the wire is you're gonna just keep it clamped, keep the bows clamped in your hand. You're gonna wrap that wire around, and I just shift everything to my other hand. Don't ever let go of that center point of the bow that you made. And then you'll have the wires here, and then I just take the 2 ends and I twist everything. And then I can let go because the wire's holding it, and I've got essentially 2 tails of the wire in my bow, okay? So before I get it up there, I'm going to now just take note of which side of the tree the loops are from the original ribbon that I used. So there's 2 on this side, 1 on this side. So for the second layer of the ribbon that I like to add for the top, I swap it. So I put 2 loops of the new ribbon on this side and 1 on this side. So I know I want it to go in the tree like this. So I'm going to take these 2 wires like this, and I'm going to go right up to the center point of that first bow that we made. And I'm just going to find the back of the tree, wrap this wire around the back of the tree, and it doesn't take much. Oops, I lost it. Here we go. You're just going to wrap it around like 2 or 3 times. Just enough for it to secure to the tree. Like this. Okay, again, don't worry about what it looks like, because at this point now you're going to zhuzh it up. And so what I'm doing now, again, there's a lot of like folded areas on the bow, like towards the center. I'm going to take the scissors and I'm going to trim down the tails a little bit. I'm going to take one tail and just kind of move it over here. Again, this is all your preference, like whatever you want to, however you want it to look. And when you're happy with it, you stop. That's just kind of what I do. I just sit and mess with it until I'm happy with it, and then I stop. we're almost there. I try to, I also try to be mindful of like where the tree is. So like if you're going to be able to see it from all areas or all angles of the house, you want to, you know, just make sure that it looks good from all, I mean, those are the things that I look for. Is it going to look good from all angles? You know, you don't want to like put it over to one side too much. You want to kind of keep it in the center if it's going to be visible through, you know, like a 360 view. If it's in a corner of a room, then it, you know, definitely you want to keep it in the center, but it's just kind of where you have it in the room. So that's kind of how I would do my topper. Again, this would have the pick snout in the top and then the topper bow like that. And then that's all I would do for the topper. For the, to go down the tree now, I'll go back to my original ribbon. And the same thing. So you can do this one of two ways. So your end is going to have that slant or however you cut it before, so you don't have to cut it again. You can, I'm going to go a little bit faster now just because you guys have seen the technique. So I would do 3 loops like this, go right in. So now the ribbon that goes down the tree, I like to put it in the same type of ribbon in a diamond shape. So this would be the top of my diamond. So I would come over here to the side and I would put this one here. Okay. And again, I use the tree to just wire it in. Once it's wired in, then you can kind of fluff out your loops, fluff out your tail, however you like. Just like that. And so I don't know if you can see that well, but it's just the 3 loops, the tail, and then the long piece that I haven't cut yet. Okay. So now I'm going to come down a little bit and I'm going to create loops in the tree because I want this to be, I want the bows to just be, to look continuous or look more fluid when the tails come down the tree. So I'll come down just a little ways and I'll scrunch. And I kind of just tap it like that with my hand, like to create that bow, and I'll come, or loop, sorry. And I'll come down with another limb and twist it in. So you see, it kind of looks like an extension of that bow. And then I'll just do it again. Again, you're gonna come down a little ways, pop it up with your hand, scrunch, come into the tree. You can use floral wire here too, or you can use the tree. These old trees, like I said, are perfect for this. And now I've got a bow, 3 loops, and then 2, I don't even know what loops, down the tree. And so that's typically, in a tree this size, that's typically all the loops I want to do. And then I'll cut this. So I just come down about, I like a little bit of a tail. You can't hardly see that. And again, I'll just cut it on an angle. And then that tail, I'll kind of just round that tail off to where it kind of just, you know, it's just like a fluid motion there. Just like that. Okay. And then I will do that. I'll do another one. I'll come down, so like a diamond shape. I won't put it exactly the same level as this one. I'll come down just a little bit here, and then I'll do another one here, and so on in a diamond shape. I don't typically decorate the backs of my trees, but you totally could if, like I said, you have full 360 visual around your trees. I would just continue that diamond pattern all the way around your tree if you could see the back. Again, I'm not going to decorate the back because nobody ever sees the backs of my trees. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to pause here for you guys, and I'm going to finish this bow, or this, using this ribbon, making the bows and the tails all around, and I'll come back. Okay, so I added this one here that you guys saw, and then I came down a little bit more and I did the exact same thing, and then I came directly down from the topper and created the third or the fourth one here, and so it makes a diamond shape. And so now I will come back in with this, the coordinating ribbon, in the same way. Now you can make your loops and mirror the topper and put those just right up directly on top of the first bows that you just put in the tree, or you can let it stand on its own. I typically like to let it stand on its own. I used to do it this way, and it's still really pretty, but I've kind of moved more towards just separating it out, and it kind of helps fill the tree out a little bit more, especially if you don't have a whole lot of ornaments to put on the tree. I'm gonna now also put this ribbon in a diagonal shape, or I'm sorry, diamond shape, but I'm going to come over from these and start the diamond shape in the bare areas of the tree, so that, you know, you'll just have like a shifted diamond space, and then everything will kind of be spaced out evenly on your tree when you're finished. So again, I'm just going to create my 3 loops like this. And then I will find a spot here kind of over in between these two that I just put in. I'm just going to use the tree itself as my wire. Get it secure in there by twisting that branch around the center point of that loop. I just try to face my tails down, or like I said, up here, you can kind of face it. It's just however you, whatever look you prefer in your tree. I'm just going to fluff up my loops here. And then I'm going to use the longer tail then to create loops down the tree. Same thing. So I'm going to slide my hand down, kind of karate chop it up to create that loop, go into the tree while that's made that, you pop that out. So now you've got this nice extension of your 3 loops. Again, a second time, secure it to your tree, and then just leave your tail. And you can just use all the wire in those loops to your advantage, and just style it however you want in your tree. Like that. So I would go now and put one here around in this area, and then on this side, probably over in this area, and that would fill out the tree nicely with the ribbon. And then I would come back in and add, you can add anything, picks. I usually will just add ornaments, or you could add garland. In the fall, I did, if you saw my fall tutorial fall tour, you saw that I just wrapped the leaf garland all the way around as kind of a base before I added the ribbon. So that helped to really bring in the fall colors of the tree. So it's just up to you, whatever you like, whatever your preference is. But hopefully this made sense and you enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all, please leave them down in the comments. I'd be more than happy to help you or address any questions or, you know, fears that you may have. It's really not as hard as you know, you might think it is. It's relatively easy. The wire really makes this process so much easier. I can use ribbon without wire, but I prefer the wire. It just makes the process so much easier and go faster. So anyway, like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. Hope you enjoyed this.